Good morning, everyone, and happy and healthy new year. This is the January Pitchmasters workshop brought to you by Next, My Next Raise, SeedSpot, and Deloitte. We are really excited to be here today to kick off our 2025 Pitchmasters series, where founders can come and practice their pitch before raising investor dollars, get good feedback from experts like us who do this kind of thing all the time, as well as fellow entrepreneurs. We're excited to have three amazing entrepreneurs with us today. And of course, my partners in crime from SeedSpot, Miranda Williamson and Krista Smith from Deloitte. Miranda, why don't you introduce yourself and SeedSpot?
Hi, everybody. I'm Miranda from SeedSpot. I'm the director of recruitment here. And at SeedSpot, we support underrepresented founders to get the resources, community, and training that they need to succeed.
Awesome. Thank you, Miranda. So grateful for your partnership. And Krista.
Hi, I'm Krista Smith. I am a managing director with Deloitte's audit practice, and I also lead our early stage practice for Greater Washington. We work with a variety of early stage companies all on their way through their journey to IPO.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for being here and helping to provide feedback, critical feedback. Neil, at this point, I'm going to turn it over to you to share your screen and get started.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you, Lisa. And thanks everybody for joining. My name is Neil Patel, and I'm here to tell you about Nacelle Systems. We're developing a domestic supply for a very critical energy material that we need, graphite. And we also produce something that's also quite popular in hydrogen. So graphite constitutes about 35% of all battery materials and chemistries. Most people know lithium ion. It's more accurate to say it's graphite lithium ion because graphite is the material in which the lithium ions actually reside during the charge-discharge cycle. So we need graphite. It's just the problem is we don't have enough of it. So the US, the UK, every developed decarbonizing, electrifying economy is looking for a supply of high quality graphite materials. We've got a sole source supply chain risk in that 85, 90, even 100% for most synthetic graphite qualities comes entirely from Chinese sources. And because coupling that with the delay in getting new graphite mines or synthetic production facilities online means that we need to think a bit more innovatively about how we produce this critical mineral. So what we've developed is a more efficient way of creating graphite. It's far less energy intensive. It's less detrimental to our natural ecosystem, doesn't require open pit mines, does not require petroleum feedstocks. And so it's low impact compared to the more traditional ways that graphite is currently made. Before I get into the technical aspects, just a little bit about the team. My name again is Neil Patel. I have experience in engineering management, both through medical device systems and with Raytheon missile systems. The CTO, Rajan Patel, has hardware development experience. If you ever have a chance, look up the Embrace Baby Incubator. He was one of the chief designers for that and engineers, and it saved more than 500,000 infant lives in the US. And it's probably more now since it's been on the market for 10 plus years. Mira Saukar is on board as our commercial lead. And so she'll be working directly with suppliers and also going forward with battery manufacturers as they become our customers. We're looking into getting a staff engineer soon who will help do our process engineering and supplier management. Professors Tettard and Blair are on board as advisors. They're the original developers of the core technology, the base technology. Professor Tettard is an expert in nanoscale materials, and Professor Blair, he's worked on scaling energy materials and the synthesis for that. The core of our technology relies on being able to split methane or CO2. So natural gas, we have plenty of it in the US. Most of it is methane, actually. So we're able to take that molecule, CH4, and crack it into two different components. You get the hydrogen in the gas form, which is usable, More importantly for us is you get the graphite, the solid carbon. This carbon is organized in hexagonal structure, a 3D hexagonal structure, and it's what we need for battery materials. We use a photocatalytic method in that we don't have heat or pressure or anything like that that really drives our reactions. Instead, we have light. And so using only electricity to drive the light makes it far more efficient because we don't have to engineer for the energy density required for heat. So you don't have to heat the material like you do with synthetic graphite production up to 3,000 degrees Celsius. For us, we can do it at pretty much at ambient temperatures. And 40 PSI up to 120 PSI works for our production process. Alternatively, we can use CO2. So as we do more direct air capture, as we collect more flue gas, we're able to use that as a feedstock and utilize it rather than putting it into the ground and never be used again. We can produce usable industrial oxygen. We can produce graphite, which we need both domestically and internationally again, for all the batteries that we want to produce and that we will be producing in the coming decades. Compared to our other technologies, we're far more lower cost again because we don't have to engineer for heat and pressure. We're feedstock, adaptable, so we can use methane, natural gas, CO2 feedstocks, other hydrocarbons actually. We don't have to worry about mining. We don't have to do excessive permitting because we're not using petroleum products, the coke left over. And we can also tailor our graphite to be more in line with what the customer wants in their batteries. As we don't have to engineer, again, going back to that, to manage heat, and we don't have that intensity. The current Shanghai metals market in January, as it is now, is $8,800 as of this morning, right? For natural gas in the US, we're very low compared to other parts of the world. We're shipping it internationally. Our feedstock cost is extremely low. Using the help of another professor at the UCF, we were able to see that we've got plenty of cushion in there as we develop it. We're projecting that we'll be able to produce graphite at $2,500 a ton, which provides us plenty of margin in there with the current expected prices. Other US CEOs.
I need you to wrap up, unfortunately, you're at 6
So
minutes.
we've made some great progress. We've completed the Brink Materials Accelerator Program. We've upgraded our system recently. We're creating more. We're doing the Air Miners Launchpad Accelerator. And we've also got a flow system being designed right now that we hope to implement in the next few months, actually. We're raising 600 to 800K in a pre-seed round. So far, we've been bootstrapped, and we've got about 150 in angel soft commitments right now. So again, we're a greater than $38 billion industry that we're going into. And I think we've got a great way to position the US and Nacelle to take advantage of this. Thank you all for your time. I'm looking forward to the feedback.
Thanks, Neil. That was at 7 minutes, just FYI.
Okay, just a little long. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead and stop sharing. Krista, do you want to kick us off with comments, feedback?
Sure. So part of what I call my traditional background is with power and utility companies. So I had an idea of what you were talking about. But overall, I think, and so what I imagine in a 4-minute pitch is going to be kind of that door opening, so to speak, with investors. And so I think I would I would tailor the presentation more to really focus on what is the problem that you're trying to solve, because that to me did not come through.
Okay.
I understand enough about battery technology and in terms of where it is in terms of development, but I think you really have to key in for an investor. What's the problem that you're trying to solve? Who would be your customer, and how are you going to make money? The science part that you described is interesting, but I don't think that's part of the first discussion that you have.
Okay.
Because I had to think back to my chemistry classes from high school, and I'm like,
Understood.
oh, I don't know that I need to know this at this point in time. So let me pause there.
Awesome, Krista.
Thank you.
Thank you. Miranda.
Unlike Krista, I do not have a background in this field at all, and I was so lost early on. My background is in social impact, and so I kind of liked the way you touched on the problem in the very beginning, and then I was hoping that that would be flushed out quite a bit more because I didn't know why your work was necessary. I never got that from what you were saying, and it just went from one slide of numbers to more numbers to more numbers to technical terms, and was very lost. So again, that piece that Krista mentioned about tailoring that to your audience is going to be really crucial. I imagine there are a lot of people who will want to invest in the type of work you're doing, but will need to be able to connect to it a little bit better.
Okay.
I would say there were some things that I did like about your slides, and some things I didn't like. The thing that I liked is I liked that you utilized that accent color. Your font was a really beautiful choice, clean, and I thought it went with the topic, like that, this sort of clean look and that purple accent color. But there were too much like words on every page that I was unable to follow. It was quite distracting.
Okay.
I did like your pace and your tone, and I really liked the team introduction slide early on. I thought that was really important given your topic.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome, Miranda. Thank you. Just agree, Neil, with what Miranda and Krista were saying from my vantage point as well. It started off really strong. I think folks understand the need for battery technology, right? And I think
Mhm.
people have heard, or at least mostly, that manufacturing in the US for this key battery technology and these minerals is a problem, and it often rises to national security issues, and we need to do better.
Yep.
It sounds like this is a commercialization from the two advisors that you mentioned.
Yes.
So for me, I think everything is there. It's just your storytelling.
Okay.
And you spent way too much time in the beginning. So all of the kind of good stuff at the end of understanding the market opportunity and how big it was and where you are, like, I don't know where you are in this process. You at the very end, but if I had hard cut you off, we wouldn't have
Yeah. Then
seen
it
it
wouldn't
at
have been.
all.
Yeah.
So I think to everybody's point, the science slide was a bit much. You spent a bit too much time on it for the time that you have. I think
Got
what
it.
just people would want to know at this sort of beginning stages is, battery technology for the future is vital, core element, and you can have, I'm sure there's a million statistics that you can see it. How do we get the battery technology? Well, right now we rely on country X, Y, and Z. A core component of battery technology is the graphite ingredient. This is how we currently source the graphite ingredient. We've built a better mousetrap,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
That's better on the environment, that's lower cost, more, that's kind of it. And then the credibility is really not on your team per se, but it's on the commercialization, it's on your advisory team and who they are and where this came from, kind of thing. So I think
Got
you
it.
have it all. I just think the story needs to be pulled in tighter to get people's attention. Like, oh my God, this is a critical, technology that is, going to end up everywhere once it gets out there.
Got it. I'll make sure to implement these recommendations. Thank you all.
Awesome. And before we move on, folks in the audience, other founders have any feedback for Neil, feel free to chime in, add it to the chat. Hearing from other founders is a super helpful tool as well. Okay, awesome, Neil. Well, thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you all.
Rob, I'm going to turn it over to you to share your screen. We didn't have time for a tech check, so hopefully everything will be in order.
All right.
Awesome.
All right.
I can see it. So go ahead and get started whenever you're ready.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Gaurav Gupta. I'm the CEO of Instant Car Fix. I have Rajiv Gupta on the call as well. He is the CTO of Instant Car Fix. Auto repairs in traditional brick and mortar shops have long been a frustrating experience. They are inconvenient, often overpriced, and time consuming for both businesses and consumers. Now, imagine skipping the long wait times and high costs altogether. That's the reality we are creating at Instant Car Fix. With our innovative AI-powered SaaS platform, we bring certified mobile mechanics to you, whether you are at home, office, or on the go. From simple oil changes to complex engine replacements, we handle it all with top-notch quality and transparency and unmatched convenience. What sets us apart is that we are not a marketplace like Craigslist or Angie's List. Instant Car Fix is a full-service mobile solution that manages the entire repair experience from booking to completion. We just don't connect you with the mechanics. We control every aspect of the service, ensuring top quality, consistent repairs with our certified professional mechanics. Plus, all of our services come with a comprehensive 12 months or 12,000 miles warranty, giving our customers complete peace of mind. Now, since 2022, Instant Car Fix has completed more than 7,000 services, bringing in about $1.5 million in revenues in 2024. Since our launch in 2022, we have brought in about $2 million in revenues. We have serviced over 6,000 customers, and we are on track to bring in $4.5 million in 2025. Thanks to our AI-driven platform, we can become profitable in any new markets within just 30 days with a customer acquisition cost of only $50. Let me share a quick success story. We started our operations in the state of Virginia, where we quickly achieved profitability. After refining our models, we then expanded to 2 additional states, Texas and Georgia, replicating the same success. We are now ready to expand this nationwide, projecting a $42 million run rate in 3 years and $250 million in 7 years. What's even better is how big we can make this. Let's talk about the bigger picture. The US auto repair industry is an $800 billion market, poised to grow to $2.1 trillion by 2032. Yet, mobile repair remains an untapped market with less than 1% total market penetration. And Instant Car Fix is uniquely positioned to lead this opportunity. Our vision isn't just about to participate in the market. We are here to redefine the whole market, the whole industry. And our success isn't just about the numbers, it's about the trust. Companies like FedEx and USDA already rely on us for their fleet management. And we are in talks with Milwaukee Airport and Drive Smart Warranty Company, further proving the strength of our business model. At Instant Car Fix, we are not just fixing cars, we are fixing an industry. Join us on this exciting journey to transform car repairs for the future. Together, we can pave the way for the future of car repairs. Thank you. Sorry, Linda.
I'm
Lisa, I
muted.
think
Sorry about that.
muted.
Yes, well done. Well under 4 minutes, 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Thank you so much for that great pitch and summary. And I see you're a Techstars company. Very exciting. Feel free to stop sharing. And Miranda, do you want to kick us off with feedback this time?
Yeah, absolutely. So, first off, just great job overall. Great job introducing the problem and solution right away. I immediately knew what we were talking about, and that was really helpful as we went through the rest of the pitch. Loved your impact slide. I thought that was beautiful how you just had those 3 buckets of where your impact was. The conversation about the untapped market and mobile repairs, excellent. I honestly don't have very much critical feedback. I thought you did an excellent job, and I don't really have anything else to add.
Right. Thank you.
Thanks, Miranda. Krista.
Yeah, I agree. I like the pitch. I thought it was very understandable. The accountant in me has a question about revenues in terms of when you show your revenues, is that the fee you're getting for arranging the service? Does it include the cost of the repairs itself? Tell me a little bit more about that.
So as I said in the pitch, we manage the entire workflow. So it includes parts, labor, everything.
Okay.
So we don't connect the customers with the mechanics. It's not a marketplace. We control every aspect of the service. So customers, if there is a recall or if there is a warranty on a service that we provided, the customers have to come back to us.
Okay. The other thing you may want to think about too, is what is like, so if I do all this myself and servicing my car, like you're providing a convenience aspect, but at what price? Like how much of a premium am I paying versus just managing all this stuff myself?
So that's a great question. Our services are actually 30% cheaper than shops and dealerships. And that's one of the reasons we are able to grow so fast, because we not only provide convenience, but it's also at a lower price to the customers.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, and I may have missed that, but I think that's big. So if that wasn't in there, I would make sure you put that in there. But otherwise, I agree with Miranda. I didn't have a tremendous amount of feedback.
Right. So, I mean, whenever you talk about convenience, there is a premium factor, as you rightly said. Talk about Amazon, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Instacart. They all provide convenience, but at the same time, they come at a premium to the customers. Like we don't have the overheads of a shop, so we are able to pass on the savings to the customers, and that's how our pricing is about 30% cheaper than shops and dealerships.
Good. Thank you.
And to add on to it, we also offer a number of feature sets, especially with if someone wants to get OEM parts. Yeah, if someone is very picky about getting good quality parts for their car, we do offer that on our platform. Customers are free to select. If they are more price conscious, they can select non-OEM parts versus OEM parts. That is one feature set. The other feature that we offer is customers are welcome to bring their own parts and we just do the labor. That is another feature that we offer. Yeah. And we are a technology backed shop where we are bringing a lot of AI models to the mix, which is going to simplify the user experience. At times when people get check engine light on their cars, right? It is a big question mark on everyone's faces that what fix needs to happen. Now, as a customer, people can come to our website. They can just enter the, some questions to our AI engine saying that something is leaking from my car. Now, our AI engine will provide recommendations on what could be the possible repairs. If they are sure about it, they can sign up for the service there itself, or they can call one of our experts for the diagnostic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the additional information and the feedback, Krista. Yeah, I thought the pitch was pretty straightforward, pretty simple idea. I think if I'm being a little picky, a couple of things on the deck, I think it'd be a little bit more sophisticated looking. Some of the slides just looked a little rudimentary. I think I agree with Krista. I wasn't sure what the business model was. I did think it was a marketplace actually at first. So then my question was, okay, who are these mechanics? And I get you said we're not Angie's List, but I didn't fully get that this is just an alternative than taking my car to the dealer. So to Krista's point, I would double down on that and say, you take your car to your dealer. This is what is that what most people do? Do more, what are the statistics on that? Do more people find independent mechanics? And what are the cost sort of structure? And if you're 30% under that, amazing. My biggest question would be, if you have 2 million in revenue, like who are those people? Like where was that traction? Is it geographic? Is it a certain type? Who's your sort of profile customer? I think that would be interesting to know. And then I just have a question as a potential user. And I get that the AI, you answer question, but I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with my car. I can tell you what's, it's blinking or this or that. But somebody's going to come to my house, and unlike being in a garage where you have, I guess, unlimited access to parts and this, somebody's going to come. Do they come with like a mobile kind of tool set and garage and parts, or is somebody going to come and then they're going to have to come back? Like just sort of the experience to sort of emphasize that you're not losing anything. You're gaining the convenience of someone coming to you. That's huge. Totally get that. But you're not losing efficiency because somebody's coming to you and may not come to you with the right parts, right? Like somebody comes to fix my dryer. That's great that they come to me, but they never seem to have the right part in their truck. So then they got to get, you know what I mean? So I would just talk a little bit. And if you have $2 million in revenue, obviously you're doing something really right. 6,000 customers, I think you said. So I would maybe sort of talk a little bit about the experiences, maybe some testimonials, talk about the efficiency, put people at ease before they start having all of these questions. But generally, you know, congratulations, well done. It sounds like you guys are well on your way.
Thank
Any
you.
other feedback from the folks in the audience? Anybody want to chime in?
So would it help to add a user experience slide where we can throw some pictures in, showcasing that we are fully equipped shop, right, when we come to you? Would that
Yeah,
help?
I think so. Like let's say, what do people call you for the most? Dead battery? Like pick one thing,
We
right?
do
That
it
somebody
all.
you get the most calls for, and sort of maybe do a parallel. Okay, if I have a dead battery or whatever it is, if I go to the dealer, it typically takes 5 hours and it costs X dollars. If I find an independent mechanic, it typically, and then with Instant Car Fix, it's XYZ kind of thing.
So we also have a slide wherein we actually have a real video where the mechanic comes to the customer's location and does his oil and brakes. Should we include that in the on the pitch deck as well?
So again, it just depends upon how much time you guys have. You can stop sharing because I'm gonna have to move on to Delorum.
Gotcha.
It just depends on how much time you have. Showing a video in a deck can be tricky. When it works, it's great, but it doesn't always work. So you got to be really careful and mindful about that. You only spoke for 3 minutes and 17 seconds. So in a 4-minute pitch, you still had time to talk about some of these things.
Okay.
So I think that there's lots of opportunity to address some of these these are like little picky things, just to kind of tie it up in a nice little bow so that people really have a full understanding of what it is that you're doing.
Got it.
Any comments or feedback for Gaurav and Rajiv?
I thought it was great. I actually liked your slides. I thought it was a different approach, it was kind of the Techstar approach of how they do the slides with the commentary. So, but I thought it was really good how you answered most of the key points that are requirements of any investor. So it was good. Yeah.
Thank you, Will.
Awesome. Thank you, Will. Appreciate that. Any other comments before we move on to Delorum? Awesome. All right. Well done, guys. I am going to go ahead and stop recording.